Emily stepped inside. The old house smelled of dust and secrets. Sunbeams slanted through dusty windows, illuminating cobwebs. It was eerie, but Emily loved old houses. She explored each room, imagining the family who once lived here. A shiver ran down her spine. Why did the air suddenly feel cold? She shook off the feeling and continued exploring. The house was full of forgotten treasures, antique furniture, faded tapestries, and dusty books. Emily found a tarnished silver hand mirror tucked away in a drawer. She held it up. Was that a flicker of movement behind her? She spun around. Nothing. Just my imagination, she muttered. But a prickle of unease remained. Later that night, Emily brushed her hair, gazing into the same silver mirror. Suddenly she saw her. A little girl, pale and solemn, stood directly behind her. Emily gasped, dropping the brush. She whirled around, empty. Her heart pounded. Had she really seen the girl, or was it a trick of the light? The next morning she tried to convince herself it was just a dream. But as she passed a hallway mirror, she saw her again. The girl in the reflection was clearer this time, her sad eyes locked on Emily. Emily froze, her breath catching in her throat. The girl's lips moved. Was she trying to speak? Then, as quickly as she appeared, the girl vanished. Days passed. Emily couldn't shake the unsettling feeling of being watched. She heard whispers in the dead of night, soft murmurs that sent chills down her spine. One evening, as she sat reading, Emily felt a cold breath on her neck. She leaped up, knocking over her lamp. In the sudden darkness, she saw a fleeting shadow dart behind the curtains. Fear threatened to consume her. Who was this child, and what did she want? Driven by a desperate need for answers, Emily began researching the house's history. An old woman at the local library told her tales of a family that had lived and died in the house, including their young daughter who had tragically passed away. Armed with this new information, Emily decided to venture into the attic. Cobwebs clung to her face as she pushed open the creaking door. Dust motes danced in the single beam of sunlight piercing through a crack in the wall. And there in the corner sat an old wooden chest. Inside, Emily found a faded photograph of a young girl with haunting eyes. It was the girl from the mirror. As Emily stared at the photograph, a chill ran down her spine. The air grew heavy, and a voice, barely a whisper, sent shivers down her spine. "Don't forget me," it pleaded. Emily's blood ran cold. When she looked back at the photograph, her own reflection stared back at her from the little girl's eyes. A cold dread gripped her heart. Was she losing her mind, or had she been drawn into something far more sinister?